Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. For this weekend, we're doing a special movie review. We're reviewing 3 Godzilla movies. This is the first review for our feature. Today, we're reviewing Godzilla Tokyo SOS. It's a 2003 sci-fi monster movie. It's an hour and 31 minutes. It's directed by Masaaki Tezuka. Um, Music by Michiru Oshima. Stars Nobuhiro Kaneko as Yoshida Chujo. Akira Nakawa as Premier Hayato Igarashi. Hiroshi Kozuma as Dr. Shinichi Chujo, who plays the same character that he was in like previous Godzilla movies, even from like 1955. He was in the sequel, the first Godzilla sequel. I don't think he was in the original. You got Koichi Yuda as General Dabashi, Ko Takasugi as JDSF Lieutenant Takashi, and Mitsuki Koga as Mechagodzilla Operator Kyosuke Akiba. So this movie starts off with this guy building a model plane with his nephew, and what ends up they're at their his father's house, but it's the kid's grandfather's house, who's Dr. Cujo, who was in the Mothra movie, which I think he played a different character in the Godzilla Raids Again, which is Godzilla's sequel. So they get so the story for this movie is they get visited by the two twins from Mothra's Island, which are these two very these two pixies, which are these really small girls. They're just size of dolls. They warn Cujo that he needs to talk to the government and have them return Godzilla's remains, because apparently they rebuilt Mechagodzilla using the bones of the corpse of Godzilla. And this pissed off Mothra, and if they don't get rid of the Godzilla's remains, Mothra is going to attack Tokyo. While this is going on, the old Godzilla, I guess the bones from the Godzilla that they use for Mechagodzilla is from a different Godzilla. Old Godzilla is back, and he's pissed. He still has his chest wound from the last movie, I guess. And he's on his way to attack Tokyo in Japan. He kills a monster on the way to attack Tokyo, which they called the monster. Let me just double check. It was not Anguirus. Shit. No, I think it was Anguirus, right? I don't know. It looked like kind of like Gamera. If you ever seen the Gamera movies, which I haven't, but I know of Gamera. Yeah, so Cujo's son is part of the maintenance ground crew for Mechagodzilla. He's been working on Mechagodzilla for 4 years. He's against returning the bones. But what ends up happening is his grandfather goes to the prime minister of the leader of Japan, to try to get them to get rid of Mechagodzilla, because and there's this whole analogy that Godzilla is nuclear bomb, and nuclear bomb, weapons of mass destruction shouldn't exist and shit. And then there's also the point where they talk about Mechagodzilla. What does Mechagodzilla want? Mechagodzilla just probably wants to rest in peace and doesn't want to fight again, which is fucking stupid until the end of the movie. Yeah, there's also some drama between our main boy and the pilot for Mechagodzilla, whose dad is also part of the corporation that runs Mechagodzilla, which they have the reason why the pilot hates Cujo is because he heard about his grandpa wanting to like shut down Mechagodzilla, and the whole reason they explained that the whole reason why Kyosuke Akiba, which is also the name of a character from Super Robot Wars. Well, that was Kyosuke Nanba, but like whatever, it's close enough. Yeah, the whole reason why this guy became a pilot was so he can because he's a fan of giant robots. And like it's like Mechagodzilla is the closest thing they have to a giant robot. Well, it is a giant robot, but I'm sure it's not the giant robot he wants to pilot. Yeah. They also said this movie also takes place 17 years from the last movie. What that last movie was, I don't fucking know, because like I know this is like 2003, so like there was like Godzilla 2000, but I don't know if that was like a remake. Let me double check let me just double check. So the last Godzilla movie before this one came out in 2001 called Godzilla and Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Hey, where the fuck is Final Wars? Oh, okay, here. Oh, my bad. Sorry. 2002. There's 2002 Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. So that looks like that was. Oh, so this movie is a sequel to that. Too bad I didn't have that one. Yeah, I don't think I have that one. Yeah. I have most of the Godzilla movies I have are from the 50s and 60s and some of the newer ones. Yeah, so what ends up happening is Godzilla attacks, Mothra shows up, Mothra gets her ass kicked by Godzilla, Mechagodzilla shows up. Mothra had like laid an egg before she showed up for the fight, and gave birth to two larvae. They also joined the fight. What ends up happening is that Mechagodzilla gets damaged, and our boy Cujo, who rescues his grandfather and nephew from the battle, who for some reason, here's the thing: what happened in the movie is that before Mothra shows up, you have like a standoff between the Japanese military and the Godzilla. Godzilla obviously just plows through the Japanese military. So the kid hears his grandfather talk about this symbol which can summon Mothra. So like the boy steals his grandfather's symbol, using the desks from his school, recreates the symbol, and summons Mothra. So like once his grandfather finds him, instead of trying to take his grandson to safety, he stays in Tokyo to watch the fight, which is stupid as hell, because obviously they almost get crushed by fucking debris and shit, and ends up getting end up getting rescued by Cujo, right? And Cujo has to go and fix Mechagodzilla. What ends up happening is that while he's fixing Mechagodzilla, Godzilla attacks Mechagodzilla, or Kiryu as he's called in the movie. And the hatch is seared shut, so like he can't leave, so he has to stay inside Mechagodzilla while the fight continues. Which Mechagodzilla does win the fight, but what ends up happening is that Mechagodzilla takes over controls of itself and tries to um, take Godzilla's corpse and like plunge it into the ocean, which our main character gets saved by his girlfriend pilot, who's like the co-pilot for Mechagodzilla. I guess at some point during the fight, the pilot and the co-pilot get inside one of the jets that are standing by. I don't know when that exactly happened. It did, and they end up saving Cujo. Here's the thing about the movie is that there's a lot of CGI, but there are also guys in monster suits destroying miniatures. So I don't know. It's the thing where Japan's a small country, right? And despite being one of the biggest economies in the world, obviously there's not going to be a lot of. If they did, have big budgets for their movies, it's the thing where would they be able to make their money back, right? So you can't really blame them too much for the shitty budgets these movies have, which this movie was put out by TriStar. So from what I could tell, this movie's budget was actually pretty decent, and the practical effects, the special effects were okay. The CGI, being the early 2000s, did not look too bad to me, honestly. I've seen more modern Japanese movies where they had CGI and just looked awful. This CGI looked alright. So I don't know. If you're a fan of monster movies, I would say this movie, is worth checking out. It is available on Blu-ray. It's part of it got re-released. It got released on a double feature Blu-ray packed together with Godzilla Final Wars. That's how I'm watching it. And I think I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I would say it was worth the watch. I'm giving this movie a 6.5 out of 10. If you're a Godzilla fan, you're probably gonna love this movie. And as a Mecha fan, seeing Mecha Godzilla fight was pretty cool. Though I have to say, the most practical weapon that fucking thing has is its drill fist. Because he's able to stab Godzilla with it. So it's dude, why didn't you just finish Godzilla off with that? Why do you have to use your stupid energy cannon thing, which has a really dumb name? It's called the Mazer, which I think I've seen in previous Godzilla movies. It's the only man-made weapon that works on Godzilla. So I don't know. I enjoyed the movie. It's worth a watch. So our next review is going to be on Saturday. It's going to be Final Wars, and then on Sunday we're going to review Hideki Anno's Shin Godzilla, which I saw when it first came out. It's pretty great. Maybe next week I'll review the shitty CGI Godzilla anime movies, because I think they're on Netflix, and I recently got Netflix. Alright, that's all I gotta say for this review. See you on Saturday. Alright, bye.